We're talking slow motion impacts, deep dramatic lighting, the whole shebang. We're going to analyze exactly how these superstars execute maximum damage. Part 1. The Ambush. Seth Rollins intercepts Bron Breakker. Listen to the sheer shock value captured in the commentary here. Where the hell did he come from? So Bron Breakker was outside the ring, calling shots, looking for that devastating runaround spear on Angelo Dawkins, but out of absolute darkness, Seth Rollins literally materialized from the shadows to intercept the attack. I mean, this is ring awareness at its absolute peak. Watch how this sequence unfolds. Breakker perfectly targets Dawkins. He charges, hitting that breakneck speed he's so famous for, and just as he commits all his weight forward, boom! Rollins intercepts from the blind side and absolutely takes Breakker's jaw off with a sudden, devastating superkick. It is just a masterpiece of timing, brilliantly using his opponent's own momentum right against him. The crowd energy just completely explodes, and Rollins doesn't just hit the move, he stands over him screaming, "Come on, you want to go?" It really proves the veteran refuses to back down in this bitter, high-speed rivalry. He completely thwarted the attack and flipped the psychological momentum in a fraction of a second. Part 2. The Annihilation. Oba Femi destroys Los Garza. You know, Raw General Manager Adam Pearce actually tried to officially cancel this open challenge because literally nobody backstage wanted to step up. But Femi brought the violence out to the ring anyway. As the commentators ask on the broadcast, how do you stop a runaway train? Well, the brutal, unvarnished answer is simple: you don't. You just try to survive the impact. Since nobody will answer the call, Femi takes matters into his own hands and drags out Los Garza. Let's be real, this isn't a match. It's an unsanctioned 2-on-1 handicap mugging under the harsh arena spotlights. It is a total, absolute mismatch. The visual contrast here is staggering. You've got Los Garza literally still in their street clothes, frantically begging, "No mas, no mas." They clearly don't even want to be there. And opposite them, Oba Femi, radiating pure, unadulterated power and aggression. At one point, Femi literally shot-puts Angel right over the top of Berto. It's a terrifying display of sheer force, strictly meant to send a message to the entire locker room. He caps off the whole annihilation with his signature move, the fall from grace. He completely flattens his opponent, driving them right into the mat, and secures the pinfall in what seriously has to be the most brutal, one-sided impromptu squash match we've seen. Total destruction, establishing utter dominance. Part 3. The Betrayal. Liv Morgan's blindside strike. Just listen to this explosive call from the desk. The world champion with a codebreaker to Paige. As Paige and Brie were heatedly brawling with Raquel and Roxanne Perez, taking the fight straight to them, Liv Morgan strikes from out of absolutely nowhere with a vicious codebreaker. This right here is all about the opportunistic strike. Okay, let's break down exactly how this setup worked. First, the Judgment Day fires those arrogant verbal shots at the champions, calling them washed-up has-beens. Second, Paige and Brie totally take the bait and initiate the brawl. Third, that is the precise opening the world champion Liv Morgan needs to shift the numbers game entirely. And finally, Paige is left completely flattened on the mat as the arena lighting shifts to these deep, dramatic shadows. It was just a perfectly orchestrated, calculated ambush. Part 4. The Massacre. Jacob Fatu destroys the OTC. It all starts right here. Fatu traps Roman in the Tongan Death Grip, this vicious, paralyzing hold targeting the throat. In slow-motion detail on the broadcast, we actually see Fatu's eyes roll into the back of his head. The commentary desk called it a demonic possession, and honestly, watching that grip tighten, watching the pure aggression, it's pretty hard to argue with them. Watch this timeline of absolute destruction unfold. Step 1, the paralyzing grip is locked in tight. Step 2, Roman Reigns, the OTC himself, actually starts to fade under the pressure. Step 3, Fatu transitions into a massive powerbomb. In Step 4, he launches Reigns right through the announce table in a catastrophic collision of wood and monitors. The commentary desk is just screaming in total chaos. The OTC has been flattened. Bodies are swarming the area. Officials are desperately trying to pry Fatu off Reigns, yelling, "That's enough, that's enough." But Fatu violently breaks free to attack again, locking in that Tongan Death Grip a second time right amidst the wreckage. Officials are literally screaming for security to drag him out of the arena, and as they do, Fatu stares straight into the camera, screaming that he is all gas and no brakes. It perfectly ends the broadcast on the ultimate visual of pure, unrelenting carnage. Part 5. The Cinematic Aftermath. Unanswered Questions. Stepping back from all this aggressive play-by-play, these sequences brilliantly illustrate the physical storytelling and impact of Monday Night Raw. We are seeing an intensity that is fundamentally shifting the landscape of the roster. Which brings us to our final provocative question. With superstars like Seth Rollins, Oba Femi, Liv Morgan, and Jacob Fatu currently operating at this level of unrelenting violence, who can possibly survive the fallout? Think about that as the dust settles.